I don't know anything about it. It's a private school.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Please rise and join me in the pledge. The flag is over there. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Agenda review.
I have 3 things to add. Granite State recovery,
Okay.
differentiated aid, and letter regarding the CTE Center.
All right, moving on, any acceptance of the meeting minutes for the May 7th meeting?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any changes, errors, corrections, omissions? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? 2 abstentions. And approval for the minutes of the non-public meeting on May 16th.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And abstentions? 2, and you're abstaining, that's the special meeting. So 3 abstentions. Thank you. Okay, public input. This is an opportunity for you to present any questions you might have to the board. Okay, good. Seeing none. Abigail, you're up.
Well, I apologize, I have lots of things, but it's the end of year, so there's a lot of things going on. But starting off with some things that have already happened, our Kingswood art students went to the Museum of Fine Arts a couple weeks ago, and this was their first field trip there, and they focused on the key stylistic elements they've been working on, and really looked how more prestigious artists are doing that. Knights Against Hunger had several volunteers work with Brewster Academy and local youth groups to participate in an event called Ending Hunger, Enriching Lives, where they packed enough food to feed 10,000 people, and they did it in just a couple hours. The seniors had our awesome flash trip last weekend where we went to a Red Sox game and Faneuil Hall. They won, and it was really fun. About 80 of us went to that. So spring sports just ended last week and this weekend with some great feats. The boys lacrosse team was the one team that made it to playoffs, but they lost, unfortunately, 6-2. 2 Kingswood tennis players, they're Marina Aneva and Russell Lucia, qualified for the NHIAA tennis singles tournament. And then numerous track and field athletes qualified and competed in the state meet. And the boys 4x800 team won the D2 state championship for the 2nd year in a row, I'm pretty sure. The National Honor Society has been busy, as last week we traveled to all of the elementary schools and did our annual read program where we read books to them, acted them out, did crafts, and then today 6 of us from NHS did the roadside cleanup along the Wolfeboro sign down to Weston Auto Body. The Gold Scholar Luncheon was a couple weeks ago with some of you guys there to support us, and that was really fun. It was amazing because there's 26 of us, so it was a great time to celebrate that. And then there's a lot of things coming up to end the year, and I hope to see you guys there. We have Academic Awards Night, which was last Thursday, actually. The Circle of Champions is this June 7th at 9 a.m. on Thursday, where we celebrate Kingswood students who have placed or ranked in the state competitions. And then there's Scholarship Night, Senior Banquet, Baccalaureate, and then graduation on the 16th. So I hope to see you guys there, and thank you so much for listening to my long thing and all of them this year.
Well, Abby, this obviously is your last meeting, and it's been really a pleasure having you here this year. You've been terrific. I love your reports. You've been very thorough on everything that you've been able to present to us, and we do have a little something for you today. So just a thank you for being a great student rep, and a little something for the school.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, superintendent's report.
Okay, our first order of business is we have a representative from the School Boards Association, Barrett Christina, actually the executive director, not just a representative. And Barrett has a presentation to make tonight.
Thank you very much, Kathleen. Thank you to the Wentworth Regional School Board. My name is Barrett Christina. I'm the Executive Director of the New Hampshire School Boards Association. I want to thank you for the invitation for me coming on up here. If you'll indulge me for a couple minutes, read a little bit and make a presentation to one of your students. Thank you to the Wentworth School Board for inviting NHSBA to make a presentation at tonight's board meeting. The New Hampshire School Boards Association is proud to offer a yearly scholarship program designed to encourage and support students who have a strong interest in pursuing a career in public education or related field. The NHSBA scholarship is available to the children or grandchildren of school board members whose school board is a current member of the New Hampshire School Boards Association. NHSBA provides 5 awards of $1,500 each in each of the 5 NHSBA regions. Factors considered for award winners are academic achievement, active participation in school-sponsored and extracurricular activities, community service, and an essay on the topic of steps that my local school board can take to promote student achievement. NHSBA is pleased to announce that the winner of the 2018 NHSBA Student Scholarship Lakes Region is Governor Wentworth High School student Grace Trites. Grace is the daughter of Governor Wentworth School Board member Stacy Trites, and in addition to congratulating Grace, NHSBA would also like to thank Stacy for her service on her local school board. Grace's accomplishments are numerous. She's maintained a solid grade point average and has achieved honors and high honors status. Grace is a member of the National Honor Society and has been awarded numerous academic distinctions. In addition to being an excellent student, NHSBA was also greatly impressed by Grace's commitment to extracurricular activities and volunteer work. Grace has been involved in Knights Against Hunger and Model Congress. She serves as a peer leader at St. Catherine Drexel Parish and has volunteered for missionary work in Haiti with her parish. Grace's references describe her as insightful and disciplined, a quiet leader who leads by steady example, and an exceptional woman who is able to balance family, faith, service, and friends. It's clear that Grace is a young woman of many accomplishments and is a wonderful representative of the Governor Wentworth School District and has a bright future ahead of her. Please join me in congratulating Grace Trites as the Lakes Region winner of the 2018 NHSBA Student Scholarship. Can I get some pictures, Mom?
Sure.
Sure. Congratulations again.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
No. Do you want me to?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Could you get closer?
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you very much.
And Grace, congratulations before we move on to the next item. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay. The next item is the Alumni Association, and I did anticipate that they would be here tonight. They're in the hallway. Okay, so we'll bring them right in. Thank you, Heather.
So you're ready for us? Is that what you're
I guess so.
All right, well, we'll get started then. Well, hello, my name is Christy Smith. I I am the president of the Alumni Association. I am a school district employee for about 20 years. I am class of 89 alumni and a proud mom of a sophomore at Kingswood and a graduate from last year, class of 2017. So I can't believe it's June already. It definitely doesn't feel like June outside, but we're here to give our annual review report of the Alumni Association. We start this Friday, senior banquet. This is the 10th year that we'll be presenting scholarships. We did the process a little bit differently this year. We had 35 applicants. 2 students from the class of 2018 will be receiving $1,000 scholarships. And then for the first time, we opened up the scholarship to alumni who are currently enrolled in college and they're going into their sophomore, junior, or senior year. So we have 1 recipient for that as well. So we're giving about $3,000 out this Friday, which is exciting. So I can't tell you the names yet because we haven't revealed that. Our biggest fundraiser still continues to be our alumni golf tournament that happens in homecoming weekend. It's the 4th year. This past year was the 4th year. We had about 15 teams. You can mark your calendars for October 13th. That's homecoming, the Saturday of homecoming next fall. And it's teams of 4, and 1 person on the team needs to be either alumni, a current student, or an employee of the Governor Wentworth School District. So it's kind of a fun day. We do raise a lot of money, and most of that money goes into our scholarships. The other goal that we've been working on as an association is kind of to be the gatherer and the holder of memorabilia for Kingswood. Just Lenny Moore is our vice president. He has hundreds of photographs stored on a hard drive. There's many more that need to be stored and organized. Jane Keniston is our secretary. She's organizing Phenom. She's taken all of our minutes, putting them digital, organized all our notebooks. She went through and got all of the program from every commencement ceremony since 1965. We have that on record, so you can see the graduates from each year. And so she's kind of just keeping us, she keeps me right on task as well. So she's keeping us very organized. But one of our exciting contributions was brought to us by Ms. Kathleen LaPlante was your maiden name, Everbeck. She was a class of 1966. You lived in Wolfeboro, when Wolfeboro was part of the school district. And she brought to us these 2 binders, and it's all newspaper clippings, photographs from 1963 to 1966. And if you know your history, Kingswood opened its doors in the fall of 1964. So this is all the stuff leading up to the formation of our school district. So Jane has been working to try and get everything digital, and we have the hard copies here. I did ask Kathleen to join us because I thought she could share one of her stories or tell us. She was a student at the time on one of the committees that was in the, when they invite students to be part of the process. And she's going to just tell you how she came about that. And I would love for her, we talked about the other names that Kingswood could have been or how Kingswood got its name. So I'm going to turn the floor over to Kathleen just to share with you.
Thank you. Yes, I was a member of the class of 1966. I was on the the Student Interim Advisory Committee, which was student council, 2 representatives from each town, which as we started meeting in 1963. And she mentioned the name of the school. The students actually chose the name of the school. We requested suggestions for the name of the school, and there were 3 criteria for that. It had to be appropriate, it had to be regionally area specific, and the name that was chosen would have to get at least 60% of the student vote. And we started out with 8 suggestions. We had an election. 4 of them none of them got 60% of the vote, but the 4 top ones, we decided to do another election and see what happened there. In the second election, I think the 4 were, I don't remember exactly what the 4 were, there were 4 names. Kingswood was one, Abenaki, someone suggested Wedmont, someone else suggested Dumont, which represented the initials of all the names of the towns that were involved in the district. So we had the second election, and during that time, the results of that were that Kingswood got 199 votes, and Abenaki got 200 votes. And the other 2 got less than 100 votes. So we said, well, you know, it's really close, and nobody got 60%, so we'll have the final runoff election with the last 2. And there were passions on both sides of that. But the final count was 399 for Kingswood and 274 for Abenaki. So Kingswood was the clear winner on that. That's how Kingswood got its name. Do you have any other questions you'd like to ask me about any of that way back when?
So did the group you met prior to the opening of the school, you were like nominated?
Yes, we did. We met once a month to decide on all the things from the school colors to the name to developing the dress code, which is interesting in itself. That's in the student handbook. Girls were required to wear either dresses or blouses and skirts of a respectable length, you know, that kind of thing, which is not what it is now, but I understand.
Oh, here's the 4. It was Abenaki Regional High School, Governor Wentworth Regional High School, Kingswood Regional High School, and Lakes Region High School.
Lakes Region.
But in the book, it will tell you why each name was nominated, what the history, the feeling was behind it. It's really, and there's newspaper articles, pictures. It's a great, great collection to have.
Anybody know why Kingswood might have been chosen? What that means?
The Kingswoods?
The Kingswood, that's right. This area was where the Kingswood was found for the masts for the British ships. Yeah, no one was allowed to use the Kingswood. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That concludes our report.
I have one question. Where, will those be someplace where?
We have them stored in the alumni office
Okay.
right now, and we do have, we had started copying them digitally, like I shared a copy with Mr. Donnelly, but wherever, like, if anyone would like a copy, but that's where we're keeping them for safekeeping
So
right
if we
now.
just, if I wanted to come over and look at them, I just.
Yes, yeah,
Thank you.
they're right in the high school in the alumni office.
Thanks. That's wonderful. Great work this year.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Next on our agenda, we have Paul Mikowski and Jacob Evelith are here. Paul is the IT director, and Jacob is also instrumental in the IT department. And you'll remember some months ago, we had an IT study done, a very comprehensive IT study. It was actually more than some months ago now. It seems like it was just yesterday. And after the IT study was complete, Paul came on board, and part of his charge was to take that study and to start making some of the changes in our IT infrastructure. And I'll tell you, in the past year, we have had so much progress in the IT area because of these gentlemen, and I thought it would be a good idea to have them talk with you tonight about some of the things that they've accomplished in this past year. So with that, I'll just turn it over to Paul and Jacob.
I'm Jacob Evelith, I'm the Assistant IT Director for the district. We wanted to take the opportunity tonight to let everyone know what we've been up to the past year. Before I get into what we've done, I would like to take a minute to let you know where we started from. We've mentioned the majority of our elementary schools had a very outdated infrastructure. The majority, you're probably familiar with the term outdated infrastructure, but you probably think about like crumbling roads and bridges that have fallen apart. Well, in the IT world, cabling and Wi-Fi access points, those are our roads, and our switches are our bridges. So at this point, about a year ago, the traffic that was going across those cables and those switches. It was too much for that stuff to handle. Everything was very slow, it was very bottlenecked. At all of the elementary school buildings, it was really hard for a lot of people to get anything done. We had too many devices and not enough backbone infrastructure to support it. We also had some security issues. The SAU now elementary buildings were set up to allow anyone anonymously to connect to our Wi-Fi, giving them complete access to our networks, which is a huge security vulnerability, as well as we had an outdated firewall system at the SAU building. And before this year, anyone who needed IT service, there was no clear-cut way to get it. Some people would email, some people would give you a phone call. You walk by somebody in the hallway, they'd show if they need something done to you. There was no organized method in which we serviced anybody in the district, which was less than efficient. So we've been making some big changes this year to remedy these issues. We have addressed the infrastructure issues by upgrading the backbones of networks at the Ossipee Central School, Effingham Elementary School, Tuftonboro Central School, and the SAU building. In Ossipee, we installed 4 new HP Aruba switches, reconfigured all existing printers and PCs to use our new IP scheme, ran approximately 5,000 feet of Cat5 cable, traced and created basic inventory of existing cable for future troubleshooting, relocated all existing wireless access points and installed 8 brand new ones, bringing the total to 20 for that building. In Effingham, we installed 2 new HP Aruba switches, reconfigured all the printers and PCs to run on the new IP scheme. We also traced and created basic inventory of existing cables for future troubleshooting purposes in that building, and we relocated 2 access points. In Tuftonboro, we installed 3 new HP Aruba switches, reconfigured all existing printers and computers to run our new IP scheme, relocated all existing wireless access points, added 4 more to bring that building to 11. We also made inventory of all the cables that were there and traced them for future troubleshooting purposes. At the SAU, we installed a new HP Aruba switch. We reconfigured the PCs to use our IP scheme there as well. We integrated the SAU into the Kingswood network because we're all on a fiber backbone here in Wolfeboro. And so they're now behind the Kingswood firewall, which is a more secure, more up-to-date firewall than they had previously used. We also replaced an aging server there that was running our budgeting software that was continuing to crash. So we installed a new one that's running on a new server now. We also increased data speeds, connection to the internet at all of the elementary school buildings. And they've increased some, and we're actually increased the speed with a decrease in cost, and they will still need to be increased more in the future, but we've got them up to a little bit better standard. As far as some of the security updates we've been doing throughout the district, we secured the Wi-Fi across the district. In doing so, we centralized authentication across the district. So all the wireless devices, you can go from building to building and you are automatically logged on as long as you put in your authentication at one building. It all runs on the same logon and password for every individual device or individual user. So no matter where you go, you don't have to log on to a new network. We created site-to-site VPNs for our HVAC network. So the HVAC heating, cooling can be controlled from a centralized location. And previously, each building had a public IP address, which is a security risk. We go ahead and we created a VPN back to the high school, the server for the HVAC there. So everything's much more secure. It also saves a little bit of money because we don't have to pay for public IP addresses in those buildings anymore, with multiple ones. We're also working on the site-to-site VPN connections between all of our networks, between all of our buildings here. Better access and more secure access for everything that goes on. There have also been some changes in regards to how we request help in the IT department. We have implemented a district-wide help desk system where any user can log in and open a ticket for service. We have been using software called SpiceWorks for this. It is a powerful software with lots of reporting tools, and the best of all, it's free. No cost to us. We rolled out help desk in August, and we received 1,475 help desk ticket requests to date. Our average first response time is about 4 hours, and our average ticket close time is about 3 days. SpiceWorks also has a built-in inventory tool, which we've been using, that not only inventories and keeps track of computers, it lets us know what software is on them, what needs to be updated on them, and we've been running that, installing that on all computers across the district as well. I'm going to turn it over to our IT Director, Paul Mikowski. He's going to talk about some of our hurdles and how we've been addressing them and some future plans.
Hello, I'm Paul. Hurdles, and we've had quite a few hurdles. When I signed my first contract, my hair was brown. We've been busy. One of the first hurdles we ran into was documentation. We've always had documentation. It's never really been adequate. It's you know, you write stuff down real fast and you move on to the next issue. We've been slowly building a documentation library on everything we have here. A lot of the troubles that we've had over the last year and a half maybe We've spent a lot of time reverse engineering how things were set up so we could understand it and then go ahead and fix the issue. So we're building the documentation library for that. Another one is aging equipment. Believe it or not, what is it, 8 or 9 years since the renovation? A lot of our servers are starting to fail now. So we're looking at slowly replacing the servers. We're working on a plan to consolidate the entire network, so hopefully we won't need as many as we have now. I don't think we will, once we get it all done. I'm gonna race through all this, there's a lot here. Switching as well here at the Kingswood Complex. We run all HP switches. We're gonna do that district-wide. HP has a lifetime warranty, so if you have an issue, they will replace the parts. We're starting to, having to replace modules in our switches here at this campus now. I think I'm on my third one for that switch over there. I just got it today. So little by little, those things are starting to fail, as well as the UPS systems, the power supplies. Typically, a power supply, when you buy it, you own it. It's great. All you have to do is replace the batteries. But for some reason, the ones that we have, the electronics are actually going in those. So little by little, we'll be replacing all of the UPS systems and adding the systems in all the elementary schools. Yeah, we had some disastrous results with UPS systems, but it's all taken care of now. One of them was our storage server. It was several months ago when we experienced all kinds of brownouts in the winter. Our main battery backup system here at the Kingswood Complex failed, and we lost quite a few items, one of them being the storage server. That's what turned my hair gray. That's where everybody's documents and were sitting, and we lost them. But we now have two big storage arrays, one that sits here at the Kingswood Complex and one that sits at the SAU. During the day, people save, and they'll save to the big storage array here at this complex. And in the evening, say 1 o'clock in the morning, that backs up to the system at the SAU. And we'll be using that also to back up our servers. We're starting to develop a plan to get our servers backed up to these, so they'll be backing up in different locations.
So you feel we have better redundancy then?
Yes, well, that's what we're working on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we're headed. The security system, we're the proud owner of an overly complicated and difficult to manage security system. So we're in the process. It's aging. It's having issues. We're in the process right now of evaluating two different security softwares. Actually, we have a demo server on site. We have another one coming, so the users here can play with the software and decide. Either one of them would work great, but it's just a matter of the user preference at this point. That would be here at the Kingswood Complex. So that system, we have 184 security cameras here on this campus. So it's a fairly large system, and it should, the quote will be, will hold 30 days of recordings. So once it's installed, we're hoping to get that done throughout this summer. So moving forward, I talked about the security arrays. I talked about the security system, this storage arrays. Moving forward. Well, so we're going to, this summer, we're going to be rebuilding the backbone at the Carpenter School, the Crescent Lake School, and hopefully the New Durham School as well. We'll be replacing all the switching. We'll be adding whatever access points, wireless access points we need for all those buildings for high speed, high density coverage, just like we did in the other 3 elementary schools. We're hoping to bring the Carpenter School and the Crescent Lake School through this campus. If our current firewall will handle that data, we're going to bring it through this campus and eliminate the 2 firewalls at those buildings. So that would be throughout the near year 18-19. 2019-20, the plan is to bring the entire district together on fiber. We actually had an interesting proposal, one of our E-rate proposals we weren't able to do this year, but we're hoping, I'm thinking the year 19-20, we should be able to do that. And what that'll do is it'll bring the entire district together, with the high school being the 1 data center, the 1 firewall. We'll be replacing the firewall that year as well with a firewall large enough to handle the data, and all the traffic that the district would be sending through it, and increasing data speeds as well. Yeah, and I think, voice over IP phones. We're also looking at replacing all of the old aging analog phone systems in all the elementary schools. We'll be starting with OSIP this summer, installing a PBX system, that's the back-end system in OSIP, and adding all the IP phones there. The system in OSIP will be big enough to handle all the phones at Effingham and Tuftonboro as well, so when those phones are installed, they'll run through that system. We have one here that the SAU will run through in Carpenter, New Durham. We'll run through the unit that's currently at Crescent Lake, and we'll build out the rest of Crescent Lake with the phone systems. The cool thing about that is that we can have redundancy there too. So if one of those systems, say the system in OSIP fails, we can have certain phones in all of those buildings route either through the high school system or the Crescent Lake system. So nobody should be without phones completely, if a system does go down. And that pretty well covers it. I call it my big evil plan. It was a 5-year plan, but I think we might get it done in 3. I'm hoping, so, yep.
So how are the vendors overall? I mean, obviously the different vendors from Effingham to New Durham, there must be, how does that go? Because obviously you're not doing all the cables.
Oh, no. So
yeah,
we're going to be using TNT for the phone system.
Yeah.
We ran 5,000 feet of cable last summer in OSIP doing what we did, and we're going to leave it up to the professionals this time.
Yeah.
It took a lot of time. Yeah, it's a lot, and it's not something we do every day. We can do it, but there are a lot of other things we could be working on while the professionals are doing the job probably much neater than we could. Yeah.
Do you feel overall though that the viability for, Effingham, the infrastructure that the, providers can provide is capable as far as like New Durham as you move south? I mean,
Yes.
because, the North
Yes.
Country always struggles
Right.
a little bit.
Yeah,
Talk about also, you talk about connectivity like to the internet and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like right now, like we're on Spectrum, uses like the north part, and
Yeah.
MetroCast, they change their name,
MetroCast is New
is
Durham.
New Durham and stuff like that. But the proposal we have to bring everything together is
Yeah.
from Fairpoint, and they run fiber throughout the entire state, and it'll be
Okay.
all through Fairpoint. I
Okay.
think they'd have to subcontract to New Durham for somebody else to provide
Yeah,
it,
but
but
it's-
it would be handled through Fairpoint, so it would be one vendor handling all of those
Oh, that's
connections.
good.
And that was just one proposal this
Yeah,
year. We're
that's good.
hoping that when we apply for the E-rate category
Yeah.
1 next year, that we'll get more. We're going to try and get some more people interested, to see what else is out there. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Hi.
Were you responsible for getting internet out to the alumni?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, we ran fiber out to the field. Yep.
So that'll enable us to do the graduation live.
Yes, yep. We've got data out there now, and wireless will be going out there this
That's awesome.
summer. Yep.
I just wanted to say what a tremendous job
Yeah.
Paul and Jacob have done over the last year and a half. It's just been phenomenal. And, I used to have to worry about everything in the IT department. They just took right over and just ran with everything.
Pretty fun.
So you guys have really done a tremendous job.
Thank you. Never done moving.
It was really critical for us, as you can see, to get that IT evaluation done, because we really, to be honest with you, didn't know what we didn't know, not being IT folks. And with Paul and Jacob here to implement the recommendations in the IT report, we are moving along very quickly. And again, I'd like to echo what Mary had to say. They've just been phenomenal, and we're really moving ahead quite quickly, and I just thank you both very much.
Excellent. Great.
Thank
Thank
you
you very
very
much.
much.
Appreciate it.
And the next item on the agenda is the New England League of Middle School report that was done for Kingswood Regional Middle School. So first, I want to thank the administration and the faculty for engaging in the report. I think it was a great process, and there are just so many strengths listed in the report for the school to be proud of. And I also want to say that when I met with the person that chaired the committee, she said, you know, this school in the near future can be a spotlight school, which is one of their schools that receives special recognition. And there aren't too many of them in New England. And I think that's the attitude that we went into this report, into this process with, or it certainly is the attitude I went in with, is that we have a very good middle school, but we want it to be a great middle school. And so there are plenty of suggestions to really attest to, positive comments to attest to the fact that it's really a very good school. The other thing that I'm very impressed with is the quality of the recommendations. I think the recommendations are tremendous, and I'm really excited for Aaron and the faculty to see an action plan as a result of the report. I know Aaron is getting together a steering committee, and the steering committee will work with the administration and the faculty to produce an action report and some timelines to keep this process moving along, so in the next couple of years we can see the middle school as a spotlight school. So I'm very, very pleased. Aaron, I don't know if I know you were here for this item tonight, I don't know if there's anything you'd like to add?
We have should I step over here so I can be on camera? Is this where you're supposed to stand? Really should bring a podium for this. It's much more comfortable to stand behind a podium than in an open space. Yeah, so we shared, so the woman who chaired the committee who visited the middle school, her name is Lynn Ward Healy, and she speaks very highly of the school, of course, and she travels all over New England and goes into middle schools and goes through this process at schools every year. And she, like Kathy said, was very impressed with what's going on over here at Kingswood Regional Middle School, and she's familiar with the district. And she has she really likes our district and what our district does, and sees the middle school as a real key piece to that, where all of our kids are coming in from the elementary schools, blending together and getting ready for high school. What we did today at our staff meetings, we did an activity for the majority of our meeting, and then we were able to spend a couple of minutes before coming over to the retirement reception. We shared just the strengths. So Lynn pulled out all the strengths from the report, and we shared that with the staff today, so they have an opportunity to read through that and give themselves a pat on the back for all the hard work that they've been doing for years. The structures and the programs that are in place really do support middle school kids in so many ways. And so we are going to be putting a steering committee together. Carrie's not here tonight, she's not feeling well. Carrie and I are going to be working with the steering committee. We're going to be doing an activity with the staff on June 22nd, where we're going to take a look at the 7 different sections of the report and start talking about it as a staff. We're getting it very late in the school year, of course, because of all the weather that we had, canceling our visit a couple of times. But we're going to take a look at that as a staff and discuss it so we can start to get familiar with it. There are some recommendations in there that we can do, that will require low resources and low effort, I think, that we can just implement on the first day of school. And there are some things in there that we're going to need to. My sleeves are already rolled up, so I guess I'm already ready for the work. And I think that there's a lot of support here at the school board and the community and with the staff to see what's in the report and start moving forward with that plan that Kathy was discussing. So I think the staff is excited and looking forward to seeing the report, and I think today's sampling of strengths was a nice way to get it started with everybody. Does anybody have any questions for me? Matt?
I know the building security, two issues that they brought up.
Yes.
One was the young man or young woman opening the door for an outside student, which I assume we remedied immediately.
That probably should, I have some thoughts about that.
All right. And the other one was the fact that they were talking about access to the inside of the building through the portico. I didn't understand what they were talking about, but I realized we already do that, don't we?
Well, Kathy may want to address that.
Yeah. That was internal inside the building, because I had that same question. That's just not possible because we have, so we have some plans for that, but again, because it's security, I don't really want to talk about that publicly.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But I really, read the report, and I have to say I was proud as a school board member to hear the positive feedback. And like you said, Aaron, there were some very quick wins in there that I think that are easily achievable, that the staff was like, oh yeah, we could be doing, and that were not a, setback or anything. I think they were just did things, but again, the opportunities, but even the opportunities were positive. And, I just was, very proud to read the report.
Yeah, having an outside set of eyes
Yeah.
come through and take a look sometimes can be very helpful, when you,
Yeah, you're in it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you don't always see, but it was a very,
The other thing that Lynn said to me that I thought was very valuable speaks to how you addressed the faculty today with looking at the strengths. She said, not very often do we really think about what we're doing well. We think about, and I know this is, my eyes are always more on what I want to do next, what I think, we should be getting better at. And sometimes you can forget to celebrate all the good things that are happening. So I think that was very good advice that we received, that, take a minute and celebrate the good things, because there's a lot of very, very good things happening here. So
Very
I'm glad you
fortunate.
did that, Aaron.
Good idea.
Thank you.
Thanks. Excellent.
I thought you might be interested in hearing about Operation Safe Stop. I got a report from the Transportation Association, and they really think that Operation Safe Stop was a real success. And I think the public information was really successful, because we didn't have any stops across the district, which really pleased me, because I really didn't like the idea of having somebody stopped. But I like the idea less that people are passing their school buses when they shouldn't be. So great job, community. No stops, no warnings, no one violated the law, so it was very successful. And our next item is the Wood Estate. We have a request for the Wood Estate. The Guidance Department is seeking $4,000 to award 4 scholarships to deserving seniors. And they're looking for that $4,000 to come out of the Wood Estate. And as you know, we have a certain amount available based on the policy. After July 1st, we certainly have plenty of money to cover this, and the check would not be issued until after July 1st, so we can certainly do this if you should decide you want to do it.
Would this, may I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Would this, so if we wait till after July 1st, would this eat into the funds like we typically use for other things during the next school year?
It will, so we'll have to adjust, if we decide that, or if you decide that the scholarship is really the way to go for this period of time, then we will have less money available for Camp Invention, which means we'll have to raise that money some other way.
How much less, Kathy?
Well, we have 20,000 available in keeping with the policy, so we would have to, it's a difference of 4,000, because we
Oh, I
only
see
do
what you're
up to
saying.
the 20
Up to,
anyway.
yeah.
So,
Got it.
So,
No,
I think-
the policy is a percentage, right?
right, and based on the percentage, we have about 20,000.
About 20 grand okay this year, okay. All right. So we need a motion to accept if anyone's, or a question about using these funds.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept the request to seek $4,000 for 4 scholarships from the Wood Estate Expendable Trust. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Chair votes aye. Thank you.
And next, we have upcoming field trips. Okay, the first one I have in my packet is the football team destination is Vermont Academy. It is in August. It is, the person in charge is Justin Leonard. There would be 8 chaperones, all male, looks like a great thing for the football team to do to get ready for the fall season, I think.
Have they ever done this before?
I believe they have.
Yeah, they went to Camp Martinez. They've done that.
I think they usually do some sort of camp.
I'll make a motion to approve the request for the football team.
Second?
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the field trip request for the football team to Vermont Academy in August of this year. Any questions, concerns? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Chair votes aye. Thank you.
The next field trip is for the Precision Manufacturing Group. It's the National Leadership and Skills Competition in Louisville, Kentucky. And this is a really fantastic trip for the kids. It's, not very many students go, but it's really one of those opportunities that not too many students will ever have. And I think it's really a great thing. We do this pretty regularly. The parent has been through the background check process.
Make a motion to approve the request for field trip for precision manufacturing.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. I think it's impressive that we have 3 male and 3
Yeah,
female
I
students
love
going.
that.
I think that's
Yeah.
terrific. Okay, any other questions? Okay, all those in favor of the field trip request for precision manufacturing, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Chair votes aye. Thank you.
Legislative update, I really don't have much along the lines of the legislative update. We will get a summary of all of the legislative changes that happened this year, and I will certainly share all that with you. As a result of that, we'll probably need to tweak a few policies. So that's really all I have for the legislative piece. The items that were added to the agenda, I just wanted to remind folks that Granite State Recovery is scheduled to go before the zoning board in Ossipee on June 12th. Last time, the meeting was postponed. I don't know what the case will be this time, so you might want to watch your email to see what's happening with that.
I wonder if
Or I
they're,
can.
wonder if they're waiting to push it out where there's no more school members in the buildings and everything, so they can have less opposition.
I don't know. Certainly the parents have been less present over the last couple of meetings, so I don't know. So there's that one. We also have some good news. There was an error in the Smarter Balance assessment student data for 2015 and 2016. And as a result, there was a mistake made. You may have heard this on the news. There was this mistake made in the calculations for funding. So the Department of Ed is sending funding to those school districts that were shortchanged, and we happen to be one of those school districts. So our communities will be getting money based on the amount that they were shortchanged, and of course that money will go back to the taxpayers. And I'll just go through what each community is going to receive. Brookfield, not a lot, but $696.77. Effingham, $1,393.54. New Durham, $6,270.93. Thank you. Ossipee, $1,393.54.
That's it.
And that's it.
I saw that. Yeah, I did. I saw that before. Tough to borrow, Wolfeboro.
So that's good news. It won't amount to a lot, but whatever we can get back, it's great. And then the last thing is I received a very nice letter from Linda Sheff, and who attended the CTE dinner, and I just wanted to share it with you. It's addressed to me, and it just says, "Thank you so much for inviting members of the Farmington School District to the joint boards meeting and dinner at the Lakes Region Technology Center. It was so nice to see some old faces and make new acquaintances. The food, of which I ate way too much, was absolutely spectacular. It was so nice to see all of the students, but for me, especially the Farmington High School students, and how proud they are of their work. We are so fortunate to have the opportunity to send our students to the LRTC. I look forward to successful and continued collaboration between Farmington High School and the Lakes Region Technology Center. I hope you have a wonderful summer. Thank you again. So that was just a
Excellent.
lovely
Very
letter
nice.
to receive.
Very nice.
Spectacular.
It was. That is the end of my report.
Okay, the New Hampshire School Board Association, it was nice that Barrett was here making that presentation tonight, and congratulations again, Stacy, I think that was terrific.
Yeah.
Our May meeting was canceled at the last meeting, which was sort of disappointing because that's our last meeting until the fall. It was really to vote on the budget and all that for the coming year. So we did that via teleconferencing instead. So that worked out okay. I also attended the May meeting for NHIAA, which is a very interesting process. There was a lot of discussion about a lot of the private schools and the small charter schools wanting to send their athletes to their local schools to participate in sports programs that they don't offer. And that's a great opportunity for the students, and they're always looking to provide opportunities for the students, but there are some issues certainly that come up with some of that. One of the NHIAA rules is if you send a student from a private school like that to a local school to participate in a particular sport, they cannot go back to their private school and play in a sanctioned sport at that school. So it's one of the NHIAA rules, and it wasn't, it didn't come up very much with public school districts because they generally have their own sports programs, and you might have an affiliation like Interlakes and Wolfeboro has, which they have cooperative sports teams, and that's actually an example that they used as a process that works very well. But now there's a lot more of these smaller schools that are trying to provide opportunities for their students in the sports areas. But the NHIA rules don't allow certain things to happen. So there's a lot of discussion about those different processes. And it's always amazing to me to think of the committees that they have that review every single sport. And there's probably 100 different committees for every single sport, and they meet in the back offices during the school year, and they make certain decisions, and then the master board meets 3 times a year to discuss what they voted on and decide if it's going to move forward or not. So the board has final decision on it, even though one may be approved by the sanctioning committee or the credential committee. The main board may reject it. So it's a very interesting process. I'm learning a lot. I have one correspondence, an expression of sympathy was sent to Cheryl Riley, Kingswood High School, on the loss of her husband. And that's all I have for my report. Committee report. Stacy, academic affairs.
Wendy's the new chair, but maybe we never told anyone.
Well, then we'll just change that.
So we are going through a second reading, and gosh, it seems like we've been doing these forever. And it's Advanced College Placement, it's IHCD is the second reading, and feel free to chime in, Stacy and Heather. And this was really to formalize the process for reimbursement for our students that are choosing to take advanced placement courses. Is that
For the college.
For the college courses for them, for the process, for the parents to get reimbursement for that. The second reading for field trip is IJOA, and the academic committee just wanted to sharpen that, and we put in there to ensure that there were male and female student chaperones for folks that were male or female going on the trip, just to kind of add that in there. And the homework one that we've been working on for several months, the IKB, we took that off the template for the School Board Association template, massaged it a little bit based on the feedback that we had from the teachers in the district and our overall general discussions. And I'd like to make a motion to accept all three as presented since it is the second reading.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve IHCD, IJOA, and IKB as presented. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Chair votes aye. Thank you. Okay. Building and maintenance, Ernie.
Okay, the roof projects on Crescent Lake and Effingham will be worked this summer. They're working to organize it around the summer school schedule, and so it'll be ongoing this summer. The Ossipee fuel pump system that we've talked about in the past, it turns out we have to redesign the system and get state approval for the design. So that is in the works, and as soon as we get the state approval, then we can go to a contract and move forward on that issue. And I'll keep you posted as I learn more. That's it.
Okay. Human resources, we had a brief work session. We do have 3 negotiations coming up this year, so we're starting the process of figuring all that out. And more to come on that, and I have nothing for finance at this point. Julianne? Nothing for public relations right at this point? Okay. Yes?
Add one more
You certainly
thing.
may.
I just wanted to let the board know that I am going to China this summer. I'm going to be gone for 11 days, and the majority of the trip, the vast majority of the trip, I'll be visiting schools and trying to see if the board is amenable once I have more information. Right now, everything is a little bit fuzzy, but the idea is to develop some relationships between schools in China and schools in the United States. I have some interest in some of the elementary schools. I'm going to be taking with me some pictures that the kids have created to start that bridging process. And the other piece of it that could be possible is some type of exchange program. So I think it will be very interesting just to compare the U.S. System of education and China, and I've been doing some reading to prepare myself for that. So I am looking forward to it, and I will hope to bring back some sort of process that we can use to exchange and expose our kids to other ways people live, and it could be a great experience for a district. So if anything comes of it, I will bring it back and see where we go. And the other thing I wanted to mention is, I know this is Mary's last meeting, and as I said today at the retirement reception, Mary has really been my lifeline. It's like, Mary? We spend a lot of time together, and I can't tell you how much she has done for the district and how much she's done for me just as we have worked together. So I want to thank her very much, and I'm very sad that you're not going to be with us this year, but we'll still see each other.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything, Mary.
Bittersweet, for sure.
Okay, advanced planning, as you can see, there's a lot of activities down below, starting tomorrow. So there's a lot going on. Next Thursday is Lakeside Academy graduation, and then Saturday is the high school graduation. Looking forward to both of those, and all the other promotions. So anybody that can make any of those, I know the school building principals would love to see whoever can make it to any of those activities. A lot of stuff going on in the next few weeks. Public input.
The Carroll County one was tonight.
The what?
Carroll County Adult
Yes.
Ed.
Yes. Yes. Closing comments by board members. Let's start with Ernie. I'll go back.
Well, as always, as soon as I prepare some remarks, Kathy preempts me because I wanted to really thank Mary. She will tell you, well, she won't tell you, but I talk to her a lot as well. And she always works diligently to educate me and make sure I'm on the right track. She guards your money very closely. It took me, I think, 3 years to get $3,500 out of her for a project.
You haven't got it yet. Still have a month.
Yeah, so, Mary, you're going to be really missed, and we're working hard for a smooth transition, but what'd you say your home phone was? The second thing I'd like to bring up, and marijuana is legal in Vermont, Maine, Massachusetts. Our students are surrounded by this drug issue. The government, the Governor's Highway Safety Association, tests some people that are killed in car crashes. Now, they only test about 40-something% of the people that are killed. But of those people that are killed, they have found that it's running about 41% of those people are drug positive for opioids or marijuana. And so we have a society today where you don't know what people have been smoking or drinking or whatever. And I'm just saying it's getting difficult, and a lot of innocent people are getting killed because of other people. That incident over in Maine, where this lady with a bad track record to begin with got drunk and went on the ball field, and everybody's seen her on TV, and she killed another person. So you got to be careful out there. I've preached it to the students when I get a chance that marijuana is a very dangerous drug. And when I went through college, it didn't exist that I knew of. And now I understand from the people that are in the field that back then it was a very mild drug, but today they have got it to where it's a very powerful drug. And so opioids and drugs are a serious problem. And I would encourage everybody just to think about it and be careful out on the highway. And that's all. Thank you. Thank you, Ernie.
Wendy.
I just want to say, Abigail, it's been a true pleasure listening to you. Love your reports. You've just been a great representative for the senior class, and for the district. Makes me proud to see you going off there to post-secondary. And Mary, thank you for absolutely everything that you've done for the district. I'm sure you're going to be hearing that for many years to come, and lots of phone calls. But thank you, and that's all that I have.
Tim.
Certainly like to give a shout out to the alumni committee for their work, and certainly Kathleen that came to present those two binders. That's great. I kind of like looking back at all that sort of stuff, so that's awesome. I'll have to come by the office too to take a look. Certainly congratulations to Grace, Stacy. That's wonderful. And Abby, good luck. Certainly your reports have been fantastic. You do a great job, and I'm sure you'll do well when you move on. And certainly congratulations to all our retirees throughout the district. And Mary, thank you very much.
Well, I thought I was going to get in a little early here. I thought too much activity, but Dan, you did. He got I really wanted to say, Mary, you and all the retirees have done wonderful work over the years. And I just wonder what happened to our food service. We lost last year. We lost all the janitors. This year we're losing all the food service people. But no, it was a great thing. It was great to see. We're going to miss Jan. We're going to miss Beth. But it's the other people that we don't hear very much about that we're going to really be missing, because they're the foot soldiers that keep things going.
Stacy.
I can agree with you guys. I having been on the finance committee these past several years, I don't know what being on a real budget committee is probably like. You hear horror stories in other towns because, you know, you come in with a sharp budget, and if we ask you to sharpen it up a little bit more, you're like, okay, done. And it's you make it sound seem easy, but I know it's not an easy thing. So thank you. That will be a tremendous adjustment for us. Your adjustment's immediate. We're gonna really feel it come November, though. Abby, good luck. You've been a great addition. You have just the greatest upbeat personality. So bring that with you in life, and you're gonna do great. I know. Try to touch on some things that haven't been touched on. I really enjoyed hearing from the IT committee or staff. Some of it went over my head. I'm good to admit, because good for you, Wendy. But it sounds like they have really focused on what needs to be done and just the amount of service calls. I know I'm one of those persons who's, when I see them in the hallway, not them, but our IT, I'll be like, hey. So it is overwhelming, but tremendous amount of work they've taken care of this past year. Sounds like they got it under control.
I think everybody has said everything, but congratulations to both Mary and Abby. I wish you the best. Good luck. Thank you.
And same thing. Thank you, Abby, and good luck. And Mary, we're going to miss you. And the retirement reception was wonderful. I love to see all the years that all the employees who are retiring have put in, and you know, that just says a lot for this district, and as well as the Alumni Association. That was really interesting to hear, but to see how passionate they are still about the district. And congratulations to Grace and Stacy.
I just had a couple of things. Abby, are you on the National Honor Society? Mm-hmm. Did you talked about going to the elementary schools and reading and stuff? Did you go to Middleton?
Yes, we did.
What age groups? I mean, what grade were you guys focusing?
It's kindergarten through 3rd grade.
Okay, I was just curious. Also, I see a number of 6th grade promotions on here and the 8th grade promotion. And I just want to say congratulations to all of those kids who are getting promoted, because I know that that's a big deal for them. And also, I plan to attend the high school graduation, but in advance, congratulations to all of the graduates. And I have to ask Abby, why China? Like, yeah.
Well, I've actually always wanted to go to China, but it's primarily because I'm very interested in the educational system. You often hear the United States compared to China, and I'll be in the unique situation of going with a group of superintendents. So it should be a fascinating trip.
Oh, I definitely agree. I was just wondering.
The U.S. is often compared, and so it will be nice to see firsthand and to really think about the cultural differences, I think, which drive the differences in the systems.
I'm not going to put you on the spot, Abby. If you don't want to say anything, that's fine. But it really has been a pleasure having you here. And I've known you for so long, and it's just wonderful that you've been just a bright light every evening. So thank you. I appreciate that. And Mary, boy, I'm going to miss you. I'm the numbers guy, and but we'll somehow we'll have to knock on your door a couple of times.
I am available.
I know you've offered that, and I really do appreciate that. So.
Well, thank you very much. And I guess I'll say my few words now. Thank you all very much. It's been a pleasure working with each and every one of you, and it's been a long time. I'm really looking forward to a retirement, but it is definitely bittersweet because it's been really enjoyable working with everyone. So thank you all.
Heather, anything?
I couldn't possibly add what hasn't already been said, but I will. Abby, just wish you all the best and embrace the next adventure. I know you're off to a great one as you increase your gap year, and I appreciate all that you've done in representing the students and
all agree that you're the reason we're here, and it's really just been such a great addition to our meeting. So thank you and good luck. Thank you. And Mary, I'm still in denial, so I'll talk to you later. Thank you. It's always, as Kathy said, the retirement reception, it's always still so overwhelming to me when you collectively look at the number of years of people coming here and, you know, decades of service individually and then collectively. It's just another testament to just what a special district this is, and I remain grateful.
Anything else?
Well, I will just say ditto to what everyone has said, and Abby, I think your next year and your adventures in Africa are just going to be, it's just going to be the trip of your life, and I can't wait to talk with you when you come back, so I hope you'll be in touch. And then I want to let everyone know that we have already warned Kathy O'Glennis about Ernie. So, so don't think you're going to be getting $3,500 easily from her either.
That was a perfectly good use. And Jan's looks appreciated.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to go into non-public under RSA 91, dash A, semicolon 3, paragraph 2 for legal, personal, and student matters. So moved. Kathy? Wendy?
Yes.
Move it second.
Stacy?
Wait, move it second.
Oh, okay.
I moved it.
Second.
All right, now,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes. Yes.
please.
Yes.
Jim? Yes.
Yep, yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Sorry. We're in. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Abby. Abby, what happened to
Takes
Wolfeboro
the fatigue out of you.